Alright guys, so before I get into today's video, I just wanted to say thank you to my audience. You guys have been really awesome, really great to just interact with, and I greatly appreciate you guys just supporting me and watching my videos. The other thing I just wanted to mention is it has been a wild 2 to 3 months for me and my family, because as you know, we moved 2 days prior to Christmas into this house. And then a little over 2 weeks ago, we actually had our third kid. So needless to say, we've been super busy, and I just wanted to say thank you to everybody that supported me in this channel and just watching my videos and doing all that kind of stuff. So in today's video, I just wanted to kind of run through my lawn and our landscaping to give you guys a little bit of an idea of some of my plans, or some of our plans for what we want to do to the outside of the house, at least the landscaping and lawn, to just kind of make it our own. I always kind of enjoy seeing what pops up in the spring on a house that you just moved in on, because you never know what's actually in the ground. There may be bulbs planted in different places you didn't know, and you might have really beautiful flowers somewhere that you didn't know. That happened to us in the previous house. Those white hibiscus flowers and those orange lilies that were growing on the corner of my landscaping, we did not plant those. Those were there when we first moved in. So I'm interested to see if we have anything like that here. So far I don't see anything, but you never know. It's just now starting to warm up here in St. Louis. So without further ado, let's just take a walk through and do a little walk and talk. So with this front landscaping, it's actually, for one, everything on this house, landscaping and lawn, was very well manicured, very well taken care of. There's just a few things that we will want to do just to kind of, again, make it our own and improve things. So the first thing on this front landscaping that I'd like to do, and I've always wanted to do this, but I have not ever had a chance until we moved in here, and that is I want to do a live edge where those paver stones are right along here. I'm not sure how I'm going to do that right along here, because these rocks kind of act like a very small retaining wall, if you want to call it that. I may just end up leaving those there, and the live edge may just stop right at that corner right here. The other thing we want to do here is remove this mulch, and we like the black mulch, so we're going to remove all that mulch and replace it with black mulch. For the most part, the bushes will remain here. We may eventually add some bushes or change them around, but for now, this first year, we're just going to kind of see what we like and then kind of add to it, because again, none of these bushes are really heavily overgrown. They actually look really good. Some of them need some just light pruning, and that's about it. The only things we're not nuts about as far as the front is just these relatively large evergreen type bushes. I don't mind them, I just don't know if I like the placement of them, because they're just kind of crowding this area, and I think we can put different bushes there and make it look a little bit better. So one of the other big things and major things we want to do, or at least I do, I don't really like trees that are this big being that close to the house, so I'm going to probably do some heavy pruning on this tree this year, just to kind of lift the canopy up a little more, get it away from the house, and eventually I may just end up removing it all together, because again, I don't mind trees, I just don't like them when they're that close to the house. And plus there's a tree right here that's fairly big. I just don't like big trees that are that close together, especially in the front of the house, because I like that front elevation. Just kind of looks nice for the home to be, you know, the whole house to be viewable from the street. And then the final thing I'd really like to do this year is I want to put landscape lighting. I want to put at a minimum up lighting on the house. I just think that really improves the front elevation of a home. I think it's kind of a game changer in how the front of the house looks at night. You can change the look of the house drastically just by putting a few lights in the landscaping that are just up lighting. I think that just looks really good. I did it at the other house, and I'm hoping to be able to do that this year. So moving over to, this is kind of the south side of the lawn. Again, I want to do some more live edging on the landscaping here. Bushes are okay, they're not too overgrown or bad, but again, I'm not a fan of when bushes start doing this, like this evergreen one where it's flat and you can tell it's kind of starting to want to grow onto the driveway. So again, it's not terrible now, but eventually I will want to move that to a different place in the lawn, whether it be the back or somewhere else in the front, I'm not sure. But I do want to put something else there. The bush that's behind it, again, I'm not too nuts about it, but it's not bad. I don't really care for bushes that are hedge-like on the front of the lawn. I don't mind that in certain areas of the lawn, but I'm just not nuts about it in this particular spot. So I may move that, but again, that's kind of long-term plans. For now, I'm just gonna kind of probably maintain this year and keep it as is. That's kind of the plan on this side of the front landscaping. So moving farther down on the south part of the lawn, again, I live on a corner lot, so this is probably the largest part of my lawn by far. But one thing we want to do, we want to try to maybe put a little garden or landscaping here that has some tall evergreen trees. I'm not crazy about arborvitaes, I don't mind them. I want to try to get something that's more tree-like. It goes along in here. I don't want a straight line. I kind of want it to be a little sporadic looking, kind of, I guess, natural looking, if you want to call it that, kind of right here on the outside of the fence, to eventually get taller and higher to provide some privacy for our backyard. But again, that's just kind of long-term plans. I'm just kind of keeping that in the back of my head of what I would like to do over here to just give us a little bit more privacy on our deck and in our backyard. So moving to the back lawn, there's not a ton landscape-wise that I have planned back here. For the lawn, it is pretty thin and just kind of ragged through here. When I apply my pre-emergent here this coming weekend, I'm not gonna probably apply it up here. I want to probably do some just seeding here. I know seeding's kind of, it can be difficult in the spring, but I want to try to get something growing in here, and then in the fall I'll do a much better seed job, really kind of get things going to improve this area. Right now I just want to get some grass growing here, because if I don't, there will be some erosion issues because this is on a little bit of a slope right here. As far as the lawn goes, I'm not going to be doing any sort of major lawn renovations. For one, I'm just not going to have the time. Two, I really just want to spend the time this year learning this lawn, learning the land, see how things drain, see if there's wet, dry areas, and so on. You know, there's just a lot of complexities to a new lawn, and if you don't know those complexities and then you start to do a big renovation, you could just run into things that could have been avoidable if you would have just spent some time learning it before jumping into big projects like that. So really all I'm going to be doing is I did my soil test. I should be getting those results back here in the next day or so, and I'm just going to, you know, like anybody, base their fertility programs off their soil tests, just try to continue improving that soil, maintaining the lawn that's here, and then next year maybe do more big projects if need be, if I have the time, or if I really just want to do something like that and take on that task. One of the things that I know I'll have to do, kind of projects that I'll need to do this year, is I probably will need to adjust some of the sprinkler heads. As you can see, this one's sticking out of the ground pretty far, so it probably should be sitting down farther into the ground just so it's not sticking out. But I won't really know the extent of what needs to be adjusted with the sprinklers until I actually turn the irrigation system on. And this is the first time I've ever had a lawn that has had an irrigation system. So again, that's just something new that I need to learn, again, before I jump into doing any sort of major lawn renovations. So I appreciate you guys watching today's video. I just wanted to kind of do a little walk and talk through the lawn, show you guys what my plans are for some of the things, potential videos. I hope I can get to some of these projects this year. As I've mentioned before, it's going to be a busy year trying to just figure out the balance of how much I can actually do in the lawn while still doing my job as a father and husband and taking care of my family. So I really appreciate you guys watching today's video. As always, I'm Ben the Lawn Guardian, and I'll see you in the next one. Weed man. Pros putting down their pre-emergent.